Bruce, CY just told the story about you being in this room right after you got hired and kind of pounding the table about a question about whether or not this team could be successful, and you saying, don't tell me we can't have success with this team. How did you know at that point that this team could be successful, and did you expect this kind of success? What's it been like to see it play out in this way?
Well, first of all, it goes back, I went back and looked at some games, and I could see the talent on this team, especially on the position players side, the offense that they put up runs, and then with CY talking about their vision, their commitment to going out and signing starting pitching. And so, I said once they get that, this team will win. There's no doubt in my mind. And then spring training, when I looked out there and saw that club, I said, this team's going to make some noise this year. You never know you're going to get to this point. I mean, this is a special place, but I could see that this team had the capability of doing it.
Other questions for Bochy? I'll go right here in the fifth row.
Bochy, you guys have seen Zach Allen twice this year. What makes him such a successful pitcher at this level?
Well, he's a four-pitch guy with command, good stuff. He's got velocity. He's got, he can cut it. He's got the breaking ball along with the good fastball and changeup. So that works up here. And holds runners. He does all the little things good pitchers do, and he works both sides. So that's why he's had so much success. I've seen him quite a few times, and he's just gotten better and better.
Other questions for Bruce? Who's up next? Oh, Ron on the end there.
Bruce, when you were retired in 20 and 21, did you watch the World Series at all, and where did you watch it from, if you did?
I did. I watched it from my house. I just moved to Nashville, just south of Nashville, College Grove, and that's where I watched it. And, at that time, I'll be honest, with all that was going on with the COVID and the bubbling of the players, wearing the mask, I said, my timing was pretty good on this retirement deal. So I had no problem sitting at my home watching it, if I couldn't be there.
And then a week after you were hired last year, did you watch last year's World Series, and any thoughts in your mind that you could be in it with them a year later?
I'll say this. My thoughts were, I'm getting back in this to get back to the postseason and get back to the World Series. Now, when CY and I sat down, we talked for about 7 hours at my house. We both had the same desire, the same vision. His was really strong, and he was determined to get winning baseball back here to the Rangers. And the same commitment came from Ray Davis when he came out. We talked for a while, and so, sure, that's kind of goes through your mind. Hey, I want one more shot, at least, to get back into the World Series. Now, like I said, who knows what's going to happen when, you get to this point. I'm talking about postseason and to get here. So I'm lucky. I'll say that. I'm very, very fortunate to be with this great group of guys, these players, this coaching staff, and, of course, the commitment, as I mentioned, from ownership and front office.
Far back near the cameras, Nui.
Hey, Bruce, numerous times you told us that you were coaching T-ball while you were out. Yeah. What was the name of the team, and have you heard from any of the kids?
Man, you got me on the name of the team. I'm trying to remember. I hate to say it, but I think it was the Astros. So, and that was my son's T-ball team this year. But anyway, it was just enjoyable for me to be out there. But I kid about it because you don't quite have that focus from those T-ball guys. They want to hit, and I'm out there standing, by him on defense, trying to guide him where to go. I don't want to be out here. I want to hit. So I said, well, I got a DH here. And but anyway, then they got to go to the bathroom, run out in the woods and things. So I said, I'm getting back in baseball. It's easier there in the major leagues than T-ball.
Go to Bob in the second row.
Yeah, Bruce, with San Diego, you're so close with Kevin Towers, the GM, and obviously Saban in San Francisco. Does it seem seamless as well with CY, even though it's just been 1 year?
It really has been. Of course, our connection back when he pitched for me, and who knew at that time he'd be my boss. But and it's similar. They all have an edge. They want to win, but it's really been easy transition for me, seamless. With the changes too. I was out for 3 years, but it couldn't have gone better. And I kept saying this: if I got back in, it had to be in the right place. And I kept saying, well, this just seems like a great fit for me, and it's been more than that. So I've been very thankful.
A couple more. Evan up front here.
When Chris Young came to your house in last year, with whom in the household did he have a tougher sell, you or your wife?
That's a great question. Kim, she came around. I will say, at first she goes, "Well, what is it you don't like about your life? You're fishing, you're golfing, but she's really enjoying it now. She's having a great time. We have all the family here. It's brought them back together. From all over, from San Diego, from Tennessee, Florida. They're all here. So that's the cool thing about what's happened here, being back in the World Series. One of the cool things.
We'll do two more on the back, fifth row in the back center here.
You've been around here long enough to know how starved this fan base is for a championship. What's your sense of what it would mean to these fans to finish the job here?
Well, I hate to say it, I guess, a little bit part of that, and it's really amazing when you look at, being in the World Series back-to-back years. That was impressive what they did there. And then, of course, the second year, you couldn't have a tougher heartbreak than what they had to deal with. Talking about the fans here in Arlington and the whole area, and so you always want to do it for the fans. You have a cause, and it could be your players, everybody, but the fans are part of that. Trust me, and I think about that, and so nothing would make me happier. So that's part of the reason we're playing.
One last one for Bochy. I'll finish up with Barry right here in the third row.
Hey, Coach, I was just wondering what your thoughts were from afar of Melvin moving from the Padres to your old job at the Giants.
I'll be honest, I've been a little busy. But yeah, no, happy. I know, Bob's from the Bay Area, so I know he's got to be excited. He was a Giant, so that's good for I think the Bay Area.
We'll do one last one, Bochy.
For the record, the tough question, do you have a Game 2 starter, and if so, who and why?
Yeah, well, Montgomery, he's set to go. Fits in. He's had enough rest, so he's good to go.
Much energy did you expend Monday night, and did it take you any longer to recover because of that and getting ready for this one?
Yeah, I mean, coming out of the bullpen when you're not used to it and you just pitched is tiring, but back on my 5-day, and tomorrow will be my 5-day, so I'll be good.
Other questions for Jordan? We'll go to Kennedy up front here.
I mean, how was that experience for you coming out of the bullpen? Like, when did Bochy tell you maybe to be ready, and how did you go through that?
I knew after Game 5 when it lined up on my bullpen that I was going to be available for some innings, so really just tried to stay as mentally prepared as I could and go through a couple different scenarios in my head and just be ready when the phone call came.
Go to Kevin up front.
So when you came in, you trotted in, you had the whole deal down. It looked like you're a guy who'd done that kind of thing a lot. Did not feel like it?
Just once you're out there, it's just about getting out. So I really just tried to throw strikes and expand when I wanted to.
Stay there with Sean.
This Diamondbacks lineup is fast, like to steal bases. I mean, what challenge does that present to you as a pitcher, and how do you kind of manage that in the game?
Just going to have to kind of mix up my times. Can't get caught in the same rhythm, and try and mix in as many slide steps as I can, give Jonah a chance, and hopefully I can pick off a couple guys.
The third row on your left, Jordan. Tyler.
Jordan, what's the biggest way that you've evolved over the course of your career, especially these last 2 seasons, to kind of elevate to where you are now?
I think I'm kind of just staying in better counts, kind of staying in the attack on hitters, and kind of staying in control of the game as much as I can. Throwing my fastball both sides of the plate, throwing my curveball. I feel like all my shapes have gotten better, and just repeating my delivery much better.
Same row, just a bit further to your left, Ron.
Jordan, have the messages and advice in New York, St. Louis, and here from the coaches and analytics people on what you should be doing been any different?
No, not really. Really just trying to attack hitters.
Other questions for Jordan? Anything else that I'm missing? I'll finish up in the back left.
Were you watching the game at Palace today?
Yes, my brother just texted me.
Yeah, all good?
Yeah.
Okay.